Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we'll be going from the 5th of March up until the 11th to see if there is anything coming out within that period that is worth your time. So what's coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. A quick look at a couple of games that are already out there but weren't in one of these videos before, and we'll begin with one that I was going to put in last week's video and having rewatched the trailer wanted to give it some coverage. It's called A Musical Story and it is a rhythm game set against a 70s backdrop, but it has a great aesthetic with a very heavy pastel colour scheme, and the music itself sounds very good too. It says here it tells a story without words, going just by the music, and it might be worth checking out if you do like your rhythm games. It's selling for £13.49 or your regional equivalent. And the other game we'll look at for those already out is Gunborg Dark Matters. This describes itself as an arcade style action platformer with an 80s synthwave soundtrack. You have a blade and a shield and must battle your way through an alien spaceship, taking on enemies and fighting bosses. It mentions that the action is skill based and that you can pick up enemies' weapons, and a quick respawn cycle keeps the action moving. Looking at the games coming out this week then, and the first one is Ashwalkers. This is a survival journey set in a harsh world without rules or judgment, so says the blurb. There is a non-linear narrative with meaningful choices to make, and this can lead to up to 34 different endings, and you'll need to manage your party's resources as well as their physical and mental health and improve relationship dynamics. It's set 200 years after a geological disaster where the world is now a post-apocalyptic wasteland. You'll need to survive ash storms, grey blizzards and acid rain, and each playthrough will take a couple of hours with the aforementioned 34 endings to strive towards. Looks like this could really do a job for fans of survival games, and it will cost you £15.49 when it releases on the 10th. The next one is Grand Mountain Adventure, which is an open world skiing and snowboarding adventure game. I've always enjoyed winter based sports games, from the classics such as 1080 and even to things like games based on Winter Olympics. I remember one on the N64 based on the Nagano Winter Olympics, which was a great deal of fun. It says here you can explore the ski resorts and the surrounding mountains, and you do this at your own pace, unlocking ski lifts and reaching new areas. There are challenges to attempt, and it is playable in local multiplayer for up to 4 players. The zoomed out perspective shown in the screenshots actually reminds me of Ski Free from back in the early 90s, for those of you that remember that game, although I doubt here there'll be a Yeti to try and avoid. It would be great if there was though. It's going to cost £31.49 or your regional equivalent. Next game is Aztech Forgotten Gods, which is an action-adventure game where you will get to take on the titular colossal Forgotten Gods. The blurb gives very little away actually, and I couldn't find a huge amount of information on how the actual gameplay itself will work, but the trailer makes it look as if it's almost a boss rush set within arenas with a fair bit of verticality to battles. It will be interesting to see if that is the case when it releases next week. It will cost £24.99. Next then we have Time Loader, which honestly was a game that I wasn't even going to include owing to the very generic thumbnail, but on closer inspection it had me quite intrigued. It's a puzzle platformer where you play as mini robots, and it's set using the technology of the 1990s. You are exploring the house of your creator, solving puzzles and seeing household items from a different perspective owing to your size. You'll be grabbing upgrades, and it says your decisions will influence the outcome and may change the past. The gameplay reminds me a little bit of the chibi robo game that was on the 3DS, and I do like the low poly art style it appears to have gone for. It's going to cost £13.49 or your regional equivalent.
There is of no danger to us. A secret sign. 2020 beta timeline. What happened here? The attic looks weird. Something must have happened in this timeline.
Tragedy struck the right.
Next, it's Republique Anniversary Edition. This is a stealth action game with a heavy emphasis on narrative and was first released in 2016 in episodic form. You must help a woman named Hope escape from a dangerous situation by using security systems, distracting guards, solving puzzles and finding hidden secrets. This Anniversary Edition adds in-game developer commentary tracks, and I would like to think it bundles all of the episodes together. It doesn't explicitly say that in the blurb, but surely it must. It will sell for £12.59, although there is quite a generous 30% off of this price up until the 21st of March. Coming out on the 10th, you have Chocobo GP, based on the Chocobo characters from Square Enix's Final Fantasy games, with a bunch of friends in tow as they embark on a kart racing experience with a story mode or more traditional tournament based modes to attempt. Interestingly, there are two purchase options showing here. You have a light mode and the full version. The light mode is free and looks to include limited characters and game mode, but it can be upgraded to the full mode with data carrying over, or of course you can just buy the game outright for £39.99. There are local and online modes included, and characters are able to use magic spells from the franchise to attack their rivals, plus they each have a unique ability. It remains to be seen if it will be able to challenge the best kart racers on the Switch, but we don't have too long a wait now to find out.
In all of the series races? How about facing off against your past self? Race against ghosts uploaded from other players all across the globe in Time Attack. Create your own crazy custom races where you...
Next there is Hotel Transylvania Scary Tales Secrets. Now, without even looking, I knew that this would be published by Outright Games, as they seem to have a bit of a monopoly on children's licensed properties these days. It says here you'll be playing through levels based on classic fairy tales such as Red Riding Hood, The Emperor's New Clothes and Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, but with a spooky spin incorporating the characters from Hotel Transylvania. The quality of the licensed games published by Outright Games fluctuates, but most are average at absolute best, to be honest. We'll wait to see how this one holds up, but it is going to sell for £34.99. And finally for the week then, out on the 11th is The Cruel King and the Great Hero from NIS America. This is a side-scrolling RPG with a lovely hand-drawn art style. It was developed by Nippon Ichi Software, and aesthetically it compares very much to another one of their games, also published by NIS actually, called The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. The blurb is incredibly light on information, but says that you'll be joining an intrepid girl on her many adventures as she strives to become a hero with the help of her mighty dragon protector. I actually have the physical collector's edition of this on pre-order, as I picked up the one for The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince back in the day, and it was a lovely quality piece, so I'm hoping that this one matches up to that. It is going to sell for £26.99. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Do any of these games interest you? Are you going to pick any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below. Just to say that we have managed to secure another month's worth of 10% off of eShop cards on our website, switchup.gg. So if you head on over to there, you can get yourself some eShop cards, save a bit, and of course help the channel out at the same time, which is much appreciated. Use the code SwitchUp, link to everything is in the top pinned comment. A quick thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.